Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to day 7 of our training program. Today, we are going to talk about handling objections and buyer seller concerns. We're going to teach you techniques on how exactly to deal with some of the most common objections that you may get during your property transactions. So, firstly, we have to understand some of the objections that we receive from our clients. We got to view objections not as rejections, but more as opportunities or requests for more information and reassurances. Objections are generally, in a way, stemming out of fear, or in some cases, stemming out of lack of knowledge. It is our responsibility and duty to ensure that we equip them with that kind of a knowledge in order to circumvent that objection. So some of the common objections might be that the price is too high. Some buyers might say that the price is too high, or I need some time to think about it. Or sometimes sellers might come up and say, I'm not getting enough offers. So there are various different objections that you might have come across. Many cases we see that I want to wait out a bit longer, or I'm not sure if the market is at a bottom cycle right now, or I feel that the prices are going to fall further, or from sellers that I'm not sure if today is the right time to sell. I believe the market is getting better, so I might be able to obtain a better offer. Or what is the buyer's profile like, or if they're buying on mortgage, would they be able to proceed ahead with the transaction? Or I don't want a mortgage buyer, I want a pure cash buyer. So there are various different objections that we have dealt with in our experience. So some of the objection handling techniques, and this can be broken down into a 7-step process, is what we're going to talk about. It has to be a very structured approach in terms of addressing the concerns. So the model that has been proven involves 7 different steps. So firstly, we got to sidestep it if it's premature. In certain cases, certain objections are premature and they don't need to be addressed specifically. So you just sidestep them. You truly hear the objection without interrupting as well. Don't immediately go into fight or flight mode. Don't immediately go and feel like, okay, that objection is hurting your ego and you need to really respond aggressively. No, listen, truly understand what the objection are, and really allow them to express it. Repeat it back to them to ensure that you understand the objection. For example, if someone says that I feel like the price is too high, then go back to them and repeat it back to them, saying, so from what I'm understanding is that your budget allowed you to go up to 4 million. The property in this area generally around this range of about 3.5 to 3.6 million. What I'm showing you today is a great asset which is upgraded or furnished or with a great view at 3.5 million, which is in line with the market, but you still feel that the price is high. So readdress and rephrase it back to them to really be sure that you also understand, and let them also hear it out and feel like, is that genuinely an objection, or is that something which is being used as a negotiating tool? um, Question to clarify the underlying concern. Really ask them some questions that, okay, fair enough, why do you feel like the price is high? Is it based on certain transactions that you've seen? Is it based on certain other units that you've come across? Or in some cases, ask the seller, okay, why do you feel today is not the right time to sell? Or why do you feel that you're getting a low offer? Is it because someone else, living down the street has gotten a higher offer than you? Or have you got other buyers who have presented a higher offer to you that you could have actually gone for? So ask them follow-on questions as well to really address that kind of a concern. And then answer back with a tailored solution. In some cases, if for example the objection again comes down to I need to think about it, for in certain case from buyers, fair enough, you'd like to think about it more, but I believe that we've really nailed down, based on the understanding that we've developed between each other, the property that you require, the one that your family wants, by you and your family visiting it multiple times. It's vacant and ready to occupy, which is exactly what you require. It fits within your budget. I believe you're a finance buyer, so you've taken a pre-approval and your timeline is running out and you need to take action on it. So putting all things on a platter, and obviously not knowing where the market is to go tomorrow, it could go up, it could go down. None of us have a curveball or any kind of element to really figure that out, right? So what actually is stopping you from taking that call? Are there some other terms that we could look at negotiating on which might be beneficial for you? Or is there something that's holding you back which I can support you with in order to execute that decision? So you got to answer back with a tailored solution. Confirm that the person is satisfied with that objection. For example, if they've addressed a certain objection, you've listened to it, you've understood it, you've repeated it back to them, and you've offered them a tailored solution. At the end of it, ask them that, hey, do you feel confident now that whatever objection or fear that you had earlier is now being addressed? And do you feel confident enough to move forward, or are there still some other doubts in your mind? If there are, please feel free to talk to me about it, and I'm here to resolve that and answer that for you. And then finally, close that objection, that close that matter, that look, fine, can we shake hands on it, or can we agree on the fact that this element that was becoming a bit of a roadblock for us is now being tackled, and now we can move forward with perhaps placing an offer on this asset, or signing the purchase agreements, or putting a deposit check and executing that transaction and close out that matter. Active listening is very important, guys, in this kind of a methodology, and follow-up questions are super important as well to get to the real issue behind a value objection. It's really important that you keep your eyes and ears open, you listen, you see the reaction, you see where the questions are stemming from, and you address it professionally. You don't get agitated with it, you don't get upset with it, and you have to handle it with a clean and calm posture. In terms of emphasizing and educating, guys, it's super important that we emphasize with the client's concern that whatever objection that they have, it could stem from the fact that they might not have certain knowledge about it, or there might be a fear to move ahead. And it's merely just that. It's generally speaking not in many cases even objection. So emphasize with them and acknowledge the fact that, look, I understand that buying a home is a really big decision, probably the biggest monetary decision that you and I will take in our own lifetime, and we want to take it slow, and we want to take our time, and we want to make sure that we're making the absolute right decision. So I can understand where you're coming from. If I was in your position, I too would have these kind of concerns. I too would be asking these kind of questions, and I would also want to watch out and look out for these kind of elements. And you want to be absolutely sure what you're getting into. So emphasize with them. And often objections stem from fear or lack of knowledge. We've repeated this the same, right? Like when a client is ready to buy a property, if they've thought about it, they've analyzed it, they've spoken to their family, they've got the funds ready, they've seen 10 different properties, they've met you, they've gone with you to developer's office, they've narrowed down on the floor plan they like, on the view that they like, on all of those elements. That's pretty much 90% of their entire decision making has been done, but they're just stopping from taking that last 5 or 10% step in order to sign off on those dotted lines. That's not the logical brain talking, that's the emotional brain talking. So that's fear kicking in. That's the lack of, okay, what could go wrong, what if I'm taking the wrong call. That's all fear kicking in, and that's where the objections come from. And that's our job to handle them, to ensure that we overtake them beyond that kind of a fear and get that transaction executed. So by providing facts or context, for example, market data, investment rationale, we can turn objections into opportunities, and that demonstrates expertise, and that's what clients are looking for. So whatever objections you might be getting from sellers, for example, in terms of price, that I'm not getting enough offers, perhaps you can show them market data as to your asking price is a bit too high. The property is not attracting that many buyers currently in the market. What we want to do is, if we are genuinely keen on selling, we got to lower our asking price, we got to market it in a different kind of a manner, and that's when we'll get a lot of buyers coming in. Same goes for buyers in some cases, that, oh, if the price is too high and I should ideally be getting low. But no, show them market data that, look, other alternative options to what you like, which fit your requirement, which fit your family's requirement as well, fall within this asking rate, and these are the transactions that are happening within that sphere, right? So on what grounds are you feeling that the price is high on this, when the next best option is available at a higher price, or the next option that was transacted prior to this was at a similar price point? So there's no reasoning behind that. That's the fear and the lack of knowledge really talking. And you got to create scripts for some of the common objections. For example, if a buyer says, we're just looking, not ready to buy, it's okay. We might respond with, no problem, I'm here to help at your pace. What sparked your interest in looking? Don't just negate them. Don't just say, okay, fine, you're just window shopping and you're not okay to buy right now, then I'm not going to entertain you. No, a client today might be a future buyer, or understand from them that what could be the reason that perhaps they're just looking, not ready to buy. Perhaps they might have another asset that they might need to liquidate in order to purchase this. Talk to them about it and say, look, I understand that you might be looking at generating financing from the sale of another property. Could I help you with that? I might have some clients with me. If not, that's okay. I'm able to list it for you. I'm able to market it for you. I'm able to liquidate it for you at the right price. And once I do that for you, once I get you into a contract, I can then get you into a purchase contract for another right unit that might fit your requirement. So talk to them and understand, okay, what sparked your interest in looking, and then keep the conversation going to build that relationship. They're going to deal with you if they can trust you. They're going to deal with you if they have confidence in you. They're going to deal with you if they feel like you're an expert in your field, and if you're professional, of course. And all of those elements will be proven to them when they see how you respond to them. You don't want to be needy, you don't want to be greedy, you don't want to sidestep them. You want to understand exactly what position they're in, and you want to build that relationship. Many a times we have dealt with clients wherein we meet them at a certain point of time, not knowing when to expect the result out of it, and the result might come out of it after 1 year, and it might in some cases come even tenfold. That so our job as property advisors, property consultants in this market is to put in our time and effort, of course with the right filtration of the clients, into understanding their requirements, into preparing them, into answering their questions, into tackling their objections, and then understanding at that stage, are they ready to buy this, and are they ready to execute on this, and what can we offer to them that will make them want to choose to purchase that particular property. For example, if the price is too high, show them recent comparables to reinforce the value. If someone says the price is too high, show them what the last transactions are, or discuss with them financing options. Perhaps the price is too high, meaning it's out of their budget. But if they really like that asset, they really like that property, speak to them about obtaining bank financing in certain cases, saying, I understand that this was your budget, but you were basing it all on cash purchase, and your family really likes this asset, and this will grow in value, and it will fulfill the kind of elements that you and your family want to have within your own household. And because you don't have the right equity in order to enter it, I can help you with financing. I can speak to certain banks, get your mortgage advisor on board, and help you with securing certain finances so you're able to extend your budget a bit. Or for a seller objecting to a low offer, an advisor can highlight the current market conditions and the risk of holding out too long. You can talk to them and say, look, we don't know where the market is going. Yes, we are all anticipating and hoping that the market is going to go up, but an offer in hand today with the right buyer, with the right profile, which is going to be executed, allows you to sites exit this particular market that you're already planning to do, and allows you to reinvest your profits, reinvest your gains into another new asset. Sure, if the market is going to continue to grow, you're also exiting, and you can enter something that will also continue to grow, right? It goes both ways. So why not explore that option, considering we've spent time, effort, money in order to bring you a buyer on board, which is what you wanted from day one. So these are certain ways in order to handle these kind of objections. Um, so that covers our training for day 7. If you have any questions in regards to this, how to handle certain objections, and please do share with us what kind of objections have you got from your kind of clients, and how have you tackled them? What's been the most difficult element that you've ever dealt with, or what's the one objection that you got from a client that you were not able to handle and that led to a deal being lost? Please do share those with us, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to answer them directly for you. Thank you.